That's it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 49 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. Prescott on 3rd and goal. Forced out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Lockett the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They run it with Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now it's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gained?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
So it's a second missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the fourth down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Third and short yardage, Prescott. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Fourth down, Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on fourth.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown. Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott letting one go deep, and that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. A try here for the extra point. The extra point up and good. And a route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Lockett the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Underneath to Davis. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing again here, Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw again is Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And that's the risk of the long field. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself, because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On play action, Prescott. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the ball is knocked out. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott out to his left. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Pass interference, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway. Take the points and keep moving.
The extra point up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's hitting them, that's what really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Pass interference, defense.
Trying to cover Cooper there a little too closely.
And it's such a tough cover because he runs his route so well. Hard to stay with him and hard to figure out exactly where the break points are. And in this case, he created another pass interference call.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Looking deep in the direction. That's caught inside the 20. They give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 14 yards. And the Cowboys add on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Lockett the return. Oh, now he bowls him over. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth. Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 9 good yards here on the run, and now third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. They can't tackle it. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. It's a big play there on third down. 51 yards.
That has to be frustrating for defenders. Third down, they take a shot way downfield. There is good coverage, yet they still come down with the football and pick up a big gain.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
I got 11. There we go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Lockett the return. Shreds the tackle. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. Might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, Just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They run again with Carson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now it's Carson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll go on the ground. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
The first down carry for Davis. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. A dump off for Davis. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They start on the ground with Elliott. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing. Charles to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. A beautiful spin and room to run. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. Prescott now on 2nd down. Looking deep in the direction. He's got it at the 15. They give him a gain of 37.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On third down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
And his kick is indeed good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Lockett the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
3 down. Move the team.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
They're coming.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. Here's Wilson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
Elliott. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Fighting his... And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, 37 yards. And the Cowboys add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Wilson. Open man, it's Madden. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw is Wilson, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Wilson will throw again. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Janikowski adds the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. On the return, it's Jordan Lewis. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Well, Prescott here to throw. And Cooper's got a big game going. That's complete again. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Wilson to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now Austin. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Throwing here, Prescott. Going left side here, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a play fake here on first down. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.